right, welcome. I'm going to try and hide in the shade as long as I possibly can. All right. Welcome. I am going to try and hide in the shade as long as I possibly can. So let's go ahead and get started. We're just going to start in a seated position and just center ourselves for our practice today. So I like to take a moment to focus on an intention, and by an intention, just what you intend for your practice today, whether it may be just to find balance, whether it's to find flexibility, if it's to find peace, just to figure out what you want to get out of our time together or your time on the mat today. So let's go ahead and do some deep breathing. You can do a 5-5-7 breath or 4-2-4 breath, just inhaling for 4 counts, holding at the top for 2 counts, and exhaling for 4, or 5-5-7, inhale for 5, hold for 5, and exhale for 7. So let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths to really center ourselves and focus on your intention for today's practice. One last breath. All right, so let's go ahead and just do some seated stretches. So let's start with a side stretch. So take your left hand, put it down on the mat. Inhale and bring your right arm up and over. Let's go to the other side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, one more time, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and back to center. All right, let's do some seated twists. So inhale, arms up and over your head. As you exhale, go to the right, left hand on your right knee, and use that to gently twist yourself to the side. And as you exhale, inhale to the center. Other side, exhale, and just gently twist. Inhale, off to the right again. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale to the right. Inhale last time, exhale to the left. All right, now let's go ahead and come onto our knees. Have your legs hip width apart. My ankle just cracked. And we're gonna do some cat-cow stretches. So in a seated position, so inhale, bring those arms in front of you. Exhale, stretch them out and back. Exhale, pulling that belly to the spine. Inhale. Exhale, belly to the spine, creating a C. Inhale, arch that back, chest to the sky. One more time, exhaling, and inhale, chest to the sky. All right, let's go ahead and slowly come to standing, rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae. And we're gonna go into our sun salutation. So have your feet hip width apart, shoulders down and back, feeling comfortable, feeling grounded. Go ahead and inhale, arms to the sky, exhale, swan dive into forward fold. Inhale, half lift, shoulders back, back straight. Down, back into a forward fold, and we're going to reverse swan dive. Keep those knees slightly bent, all the way back up to the top. Hands to heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down into forward fold. And this time I want you to place your palms right outside of your feet and step back into plank. And if you need to do this from a more beginner's position, go ahead and put your knees down. That's perfectly fine. Keep your back straight, your shoulders back. And now it's slowly lower, elbows towards your side, all the way down to your mat. And push up into cobra. Keep those shoulders back. Pinch those shoulder blades in the back. Tuck those toes and come back. And a downward facing dog. And in this position, go ahead and walk the dog a little bit, shifting your weight to each side, kind of stretching out your calves and your hamstrings. And when you're ready, bend those knees, step or hop up to the front of your mat, forward fold, inhale, half lift, exhale, forward fold, inhale, reverse swan dive all the way back to the top, hands to heart center, great, inhale again, exhale, forward fold, swan dive, all the way to the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, palms to mat, stepping back. Slowly lower chaturanga, all the way down. Inhale in cobra. Tuck those toes, come back in a downward facing dog. Take that right foot up and through. Stay on the balls of your toes on the back foot. We're going to come up into a low lunge. And then slowly come up to a high lunge. Bring your arms up and over your head. A couple breaths right here. Make sure those shoulders are down and back. Just go ahead and bring those hands, framing that front foot, kick back into plank. Slowly lower chaturanga. Inhale up into cobra. Tuck those toes. Back into downward facing dog. Left leg up and through. Stay on the balls of your feet in the back. Low lunge for a breath. And when you're ready, come on up into high lunge. Arms over your head, keeping that back leg straight. 45-degree angle in your front leg. Knees stacked over your ankle. One more deep breath here. Go ahead and frame those feet with your hands. Kick back into plank. Slowly lower, keeping those elbows in towards your side. Inhale into cobra, pulling those shoulder blades back. Tuck those toes. Downward facing dog. Go ahead and take that right leg up and through again. This time we're going to bring our back foot down, perpendicular to our front foot. And we're going to come up into warrior one. Square off those shoulders and your hips as much as possible. And breathe. Make sure you seal that back edge of the foot off towards the mat in the back. Let's come out, twisting into warrior two. Standing tall, straight, not leaning forward. Breathing. Looking out over those front fingers. One more big breath. And then we're going to come through and put our forearm on our thigh and come up into side angle. Pull in that core to help keep balance. Last breath. Go ahead and swing back up into warrior two. Just a breath here, and then we're going to go into reverse warrior. put your hand down the back of your leg, or you can bend it up into the crook of your back. Come back to warrior two. And we're gonna cartwheel down, framing that front foot, kicking back into plank, lowering slowly into chaturanga. Inhaling and pushing up into cobra. Tuck those toes, back into downward facing dog. And let's do it on the other side, kicking that left foot up and through. Turning that back foot down, perpendicular to your front foot. Pushing up into warrior one. Making sure that knee is stacked over that ankle, and that back foot is down and back, sealed against the mat. Sun's hitting me now. All right, let's turn out into warrior two. Looking out over that front foot, pulling in that core, and just tucking your tailbone just slightly so that your spine is straight. One more big breath. Go ahead and take that forearm on your thigh and bring that arm up to the sky into your side angle. Pull in that core, that will help you balance. Last big breath. Go ahead and come back into warrior two. And back into reverse warrior. Make sure you stay down in that front lunge. A lot of us like to come out of it when we go into reverse warrior. Focus on that lunge. You're going to get a lot of benefit from that. Last big breath. Go ahead and come back into warrior one, or warrior two, sorry. And let's just cartwheel down, framing that foot. Kicking back into plank, and slowly lowering into chaturanga, and pushing up into cobra. All right, let's go ahead and tuck those toes back into downward facing dog. We're gonna take that right foot up and through. Stand the balls of your feet in the back. We're gonna work our way up to a warrior three pose. So go ahead and do your low lunge, find your balance. Come up to high lunge. Hands on hips for a second. And go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. Shoulders down and back. Find a focal point. And when you're ready, I want you to lean forward at your hips. And then push off with your back leg. And find your warrior three. I like to have my back foot flexed rather than pointed. One more big breath. Go ahead and slowly lower back down to where you started. Let's bring those hands down, frame that front foot. Kick back into plank. Slowly lower chaturanga. Inhaling up into cobra. Tuck those toes back into downward facing dog. And let's do this on the left side. Keeping on the balls of your feet in the back. Find your balance into a low lunge. And then slowly come up into a high lunge. Breath here with our hands on hips. Slightly tucking that tailbone. Bring your hands up to heart center. Find your focal points. And when you're ready, lean forward. Push up with your back foot. And breathe. You could use a chair for support in this pose, or a wall, or blocks. One more big breath. And let's slowly bring that back leg back down. It takes some balance and some muscles to do that. Let's bring our hands, framing that front foot, kicking back into plank, and guess what? Chaturanga, here we go. Slowly push up into cobra. And then tuck those toes back into downward facing dog. Alright, go ahead, bend those knees, walk those feet up to the front of the mat, hip width apart. Just dangle here for a little bit, forward fold. Let your neck go loose. Slight bend of the knees. I like to lean a little bit forward onto the fronts of my feet, but still having my feet fully grounded on the mat. Inhale, shoulders back, half lift. Exhale, back down to the mat. And I want you to slowly roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Don't want you to pass out. The blood rushing out of your head until you're standing. We're going to do a couple balance poses here. So first of all, we're going to do just a very simple knee to chest balance. So let's start on our left foot. I like to rock a little bit so that I can ground that front foot. So go ahead and make sure your heel's grounded and the balls of your feet, that cushiony part of your foot, is grounded to the mat and your toes are spread. That's going to give you a really good foundation. And then inhale, shoulders back, and just lift up that right leg, foot flexed, right in front of you. That's it. That's it. Very simple. You want to add a little challenge to it. Go ahead and take that left hand on the outside of that right knee, your right hand on your hip, and then I want you to twist. Hold that core in. That's going to help you keep balance. And just look out to the side. And breathe. One more big breath. Slowly come back to center. And then go ahead and put that right foot down. Very good. All right, let's go find the opposite side. So find your balance on your right foot. Ground that foot. Spread those toes. Big breath in. Shoulders down and back. And as you exhale, lift up that left leg. Again, if you want a little more of a challenge, right hand on the outside of that left knee, and that left hand on hip, and slowly twist to the side. Holding that core, keeping it tight. Last big breath. And come back to center. Go ahead and let that foot go down. All right, let's go ahead and do, my daughter's doing it outside of frame for you. Let's go ahead and do tree pose. So, we're gonna find a good foundation for our left foot. Inhale, shoulders down and back. And when you're ready, go ahead and bring up that right foot. Now, if you are newer to this or don't have a lot of balance right now, sometimes your balance just isn't on. You can balance on your toes. You can balance at your calf, a little bit lower. Never balance on your knees because you don't want to accidentally pop that knee out. That would be horrible. So go ahead, if you want a little challenge, come up top. Hands to heart center. Or you can spread your branches up high. One more big breath. And exhale and go ahead and let down. All right, let's go ahead and do this on the right side. Find your balance on your right foot. Inhale, shoulders down and back. When you're ready, strike your tree pose. Hands to heart center. Or you can spread your branches up high. Hold in that core. And really engage those legs. The trick to holding this pose is not only engaging this leg, it's also engaging this foot and this leg against, so the counter pressure is holding your foot up. One more big breath. All right, let's go ahead and release from that pose. We're going to do a couple extra stretches here and then we'll be finished. So inhale, arms wide and high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, palms down to the mat. Stepping back into plank. Keep those shoulders over those wrists. Holding your core tight so that your back's not sagging. Let's slowly lower chaturanga. I know you love me for that. Inhale, cobra. Tuck those toes. Downward facing dog. Bring that right foot up and through this time into pigeon or half pigeon. This is a difficult pose for you because you want to really straighten out those hips, really stretch out those hip flexors. If your knee is closer in, it's going to be easier. If your knee is further out, it's going to be more of an intense stretch. Find that spot that is comfortable for you, stretches you a little bit. And we're just going to sit here and really focus on finding that pose. Getting those hips square to the front. Getting that stretch here. Getting a little bit of stretch on the inside of your left thigh. It's like half splits almost. You want to get back into the splits? This is one of the poses that you want to do. And one more big breath. And we're going to kick back into downward facing dog. And then go ahead with your left leg kicking on through. Bruised my knee the other day. This one's painful. Painful for the bruise, not painful for the stretch. Just gonna keep it right here right now for me. A couple deep breaths here. I love this stretch. Alright, let's go ahead and kick back into downward facing dog again. And let's just come back to our knees. We haven't done this pose yet. Kick those knees out a little bit more than hips width apart and push back into child's pose. Alright, go ahead and come up onto all fours into tabletop. And we're just going to swing our legs around. And we're going to do a seated forward fold. If you have a strap or a towel or a blanket to wrap around your feet, that might be good. If you don't, no problem. You can still work on this pose. So really find a good seated position where your sit bones are on the mat. And I want you to inhale and bring those arms up high. And as you exhale, fold from your hips, not from the middle of your chest. You may or may not get all the way down, and that's perfectly fine. Leave yourself a little micro bend in your knees. Shoulders down and back and relaxed. Inhale, and as you inhale, find space in your spine. And as you exhale, you're going to sink a little bit deeper into the pose. Inhale. And sink. The longer you do this, the further forward you will be able to stretch. I promise you. I get within 5 minutes, I'm all the way down to my knees. Just relaxing and telling my body that it's okay to let go. So the object here is to get your stomach to your thighs, not to crank your head down. That's not really helping you with the stretch. The stretch here is through your hamstrings, through your glutes, and through your lower back. That's what we're stretching here. So if you focus on that area, you'll feel where the stretch is, and you'll also understand why you don't want to crank your head towards your knees, because you're not getting the benefit of the pose. Alright, last big breath. And let's go ahead and roll up. And if you'd like to, let's go ahead and find ourselves back into easy pose. We can drop into Savasana and go ahead and stay there as long as you want. I'm just going to take a couple deep breaths here. An easy pose, shoulders down and back, sitting up tall, spine straight, crown up high, crown of head up high, or crown for us queens up high. And just bring. And feel really good that you took some time out of the day for yourself. focus on you, to focus on your intention, focus on finding a little peace and an oasis away from the world, just a little bit of time during the day. Thank you so much for joining me today. Can't wait to see you again. Namaste. Take care. And may you always glow for life. See you soon.